If you want people to see you as powerful and respected, you need to speak like it. Every word counts. I've been a CEO for over 15 years, running $1 billion business. I've transformed businesses and had tens of thousands of people work for me. And here's what I see. Some people command respect when they speak, people listen to them, and other people don't. Why? It's not about being loud or clever or super senior, and it's certainly not about talking a lot, just filling space. It's about the 5 techniques that I'm going to share with you today that'll give you gravitas, confidence, and demand respect. They will help you speak like a top 1% leader. I've seen it work time and time again. Being a great communicator is one of the most underrated leadership skills, and yet it is not that complicated. It's just a skill that we can all learn. And if we want to be a successful CEO, if we want to be a successful founder, it's a skill we have to learn. If we do, it'll ensure we get there, and most importantly, once we have got there, make sure we succeed. So first, a very simple piece of advice: be clear. The best people I've worked with throughout my career are not the loudest, not the smartest, certainly not the people with the biggest title. They're the people who have been the most clear when they speak. They were the people who listened, organized their thoughts, and said less, not more. In a noisy room, being patient, listening to others, and organizing what it is you want to say is a powerful skill that will earn you immediate respect. So, before you start to speak, before you start to write, ensure you, first of all, are clear what it is you want to communicate. Number 2 is to listen. 50% of communication is listening, and yet the vast majority of people don't. Great leaders are great communicators because they're great listeners. And listening isn't agreeing, listening is understanding. And if you don't respect others by listening to them, you're never going to get them to respect you. And respect is indispensable if you want to be an effective leader. By the way, if you're serious about developing your leadership skills, why not join the shortlist for my next No Bullshit Leadership Academy cohort? The details are in the description below. We'd love to see you there. Number 3 is cut to it. Say the hard stuff first. Great leaders are empathetic. Great leaders are respectful, but most of all, they are clear. They cut quickly to the things that need to be said, even if sometimes those things are unpopular or even potentially hurtful. Don't fudge it. It will always make it worse, and it will always undermine the respect that people have in you and the confidence people have in what you say. Very often people put off difficult conversations because they feel like they can't find the exact right words. And in searching for the exact right words, they just don't say it at all. You need to do the opposite. Finding the exact words doesn't matter. What matters is you get to the important topics quickly. Don't seek the perfect language, grab the moment. The best piece of advice I ever received about difficult conversations was don't overthink it, just fucking do it. And that's the advice I would give to you, because the other thing that will surprise you is very often something that you think is going to be a difficult conversation, so you put it off, actually once you've started doesn't turn out at all how you expect. People don't expect you to have the perfect words. They want you to be honest and direct. Number 4, don't be a bullshitter. This is the biggest challenge with most business and career conversations. People just bullshit. I've long thought that one of the most powerful phrases in business is "I don't know," because it's true for all of us sometimes. And yet so often people, particularly more senior people, but let's face it, everybody does it, people waffle because they are pretending they know the answers, or they're pretending they understand something that they don't. And why are people pretending? Because they think they look silly if they don't. The opposite is true. We don't expect anybody to have all of the answers. What we want is people who are authentic and honest. And one of the most powerful ways for you to unlock situations, for you to look confident, is to admit when you don't know. So say it. Bluffing and bullshitting just makes you look foolish. And you know this because you see other people do it and you roll your eyes at them. You have to be respectful. You want to seek out truths. You want to seek out meaning. You want to find new solutions. And the only way you can consistently do that is by asking the right questions, asking smart questions, asking honest questions. And very often that will require you saying, I don't know. Whenever I've done this in a meeting, I've very often found the response from the rest of the room is a sigh of relief, because the chances are there's at least one other person in the room who doesn't know, and perhaps the whole room doesn't know. So just have the confidence to say, I don't know. Number 5 is prepare properly. People listen to you if they think you know what you're talking about, or they think it's in their interests to do so. Very often, people waffle because they don't. So one of the most powerful ways that you can build confidence for yourself, and consequently other people building confidence in you, is for you to prepare properly. One of the best pieces of career advice I can give to anybody is to try and be the best prepared person in a room. If you are, it's amazing how much more confident you feel, because you genuinely believe you can bring something to the room that perhaps other people can't, and certainly that it's going to be worth other people listening to. When you see people do a task well, when you see people in meetings, for example, or you see people standing on stage speaking, and they just look like they've done it all their lives, they look like they just find it easy, that they just turn up and it just clicks, I absolutely guarantee you what you're looking at is the tip of an iceberg. Those people that make it look easy, it looks easy because they've prepared properly. And very often I see people misled by the fact that, hey, you know, it's kind of uncool to spend time really preparing because the people who I see make it look easy don't. Just because you didn't see them prepare doesn't mean they didn't do it. So if you want to be more confident, and if you want people to listen when you speak, whenever you can, ensure that you have prepared properly. That's not always going to be possible, but it's possible a lot of the time. It doesn't take much time to do that, and these days technology makes it easier than ever. Knowing what you're talking about is the key to being a great communicator. It's as simple as that. Charisma's for show, preparation's for dough. And here's a bonus tip. A real power move. If you really want people to respect and listen to you, make space for others. In a busy, noisy, high ego environment, look around the room and ask yourself who hasn't spoken yet, who hasn't contributed, and invite those people in. At a networking event, for example, look for the person who's standing on their own and invite them into your group. It's so easy to do, but almost nobody does it. Even people who are genuinely empathetic, people who are very keen to help other people, often in the heat of a discussion, in the heat of a meeting, become very consumed with the point they're trying to make, rather than look at the room and say, how are we getting the most out of all the potential opinions and voices that are present? Just because somebody hasn't spoken doesn't mean that they don't have anything to say, and doesn't mean that what they're going to say won't be of value. It's amazing how by pulling new people into a conversation, people who haven't spoken to that point, the effect that can have on the group dynamic and get you to far better, more positive solutions. And for you, it demonstrates genuine leadership. It shows that you're not just there trying to get your voice heard, you're there trying to help the group get to great solutions by ensuring opinions are heard from everybody. It's not just the right thing to do, it leads to far better outcomes, and it makes you look like a great leader. So before we finish, here's the 3 biggest mistakes that I see people make when it comes to communication, and people make these throughout their career, from the most junior to the most senior. You'll be familiar with them all because you see them almost every day. The key is to make sure that the person making them isn't you. Number 1, don't think out loud. Very often we sit in meetings and people start to speak and we all wait and we look at them to hear what they have to say, and they formulate their opinion as they're talking. And the problem is it just comes out as waffle, because the truth is they haven't worked out what they want to say, they just want to fill airtime. So always, before you speak, work out exactly what it is that you want to say, even if it's just, I don't know. If you find that difficult, write it down on a pad beforehand. I do it all the time. It's powerful. It'll make you look super confident, and it'll mean people will start to listen when you start to speak. Number 2, don't just speak for the sake of it. This drives me mad. I'm sure you've been in meetings where people do this all the time, and I'm sure it drives you mad too. If you haven't got anything useful to say, don't say anything. Silence is powerful, and it means that when you do have something to say, people will stop and listen. Number 3, don't try and appear clever. The smartest, best people I've ever worked with don't use long, complicated sentences and complicated words. They use simple words, short sentences, and cut right to it. If you want people to listen to you, that's what you need to do. People trying to make themselves look clever by using long, complicated words just lose the room. It doesn't make them look clever, and people switch off. And if people switch off, they're not listening to you. And if they're not listening to you, you're not a good communicator. Have the confidence and the preparation to keep it simple. Leaders are not the people with all the answers, but they are the people that lead great teams who are fantastic at finding solutions. They do this by communicating with confidence and authority, listening well, creating space to ensure everybody has room to contribute, being decisive, and most importantly, being clear and concise themselves. Thanks. Watch out for the next one.